Remember that your test is until Learning Unit 3. So we're going to start with Learning Unit 3 today. It's quite a big chapter, but yeah, so we're going to start with that today. Like I said, I also want to, I really want to focus on past exam papers, just so that we can also work on getting, just getting you back into the pattern of how to, just how to answer, the questions in the papers again in an exam sitting, because that's the important thing. Is remember, last year you guys had more time to do it. You also had your textbooks, where this year you don't. So you're going to have to go back to actually studying again. Okay, guys, I'm just going to give it until, I'll give it another 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're going to start. Okay, Monique, do we have to submit? Yes. So what I did, I hope it works, is you have to, I created almost like an assignment. So you can actually just go, so just put it in Word, say browse files, and then just attach that Word document. And then you need to also reference it. So if you reference it, just use the company. So for instance, like last week, we did the one on Vodacom. So with this one also, just reference the case study, and then also obviously reference your textbook, because I really want you to obviously you got the work out of your textbook, so I want you to also say what is a sustainable organization, and then from there talk about Nedbank, because remember, we always need to have a point where we're starting, and we're starting at what is a sustainable organization, and then from there we carry on with it. And remember, guys, if you get a case study like this and you get a question like what is a sustainable organization, those are easy marks. With this specific one, you basically had to put it in an essay, but the memo was also a rubric. So it's not a black and white memo where it says if you didn't say A, you don't get any marks. So these are very, very easy marks. So, but you also need to know what a sustainable organization is. So always remember, if you get a question, start with the definition, and then from there work your way towards actually answering the question. Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do is let's start for today. Let me quickly get, sorry, let me just quickly close this, and then I'm going to get my slides, and then we can start. Okay, so like I said, guys, let me just quickly go back to the first slide. So like I said, we are doing, we're going to start with strategic direction today. Remember when we had our first Collab sessions, we spoke about what strategic about strategic direction and vision, missions, also about the values of the organization. Remember, there was this let me quickly see if I can. Sorry guys, I want to go back to the video. Just want to show you. Remember that we did this. There's this figure in your textbook that actually speaks about like what happens in every single chapter. So strategic direction is kind of the start of where the company needs to start in order to determine where they actually want to go. Okay, so let's start. Okay, guys, strategic direction. So what we're going to look at today. So we need to look at what makes up strategic direction, and then we need to be able to define what is strategic intent, what is a vision, a mission, and then also your value statements. Remember that they can ask you what are the differences between these. They can give you a case study and ask you to please identify the strategic intent, the vision, the mission, as well as the value statements. Okay. So what is strategic direction? So guys, what I want you to do is I want you to think of like we are going on a road trip, okay? So let's say, for instance, we need a place where we want to go. So as a group, we decide we are going to Cape Town. But in order to get to Cape Town, we need to go and decide how are we going to get there. So are we going to go by plane, train? Are we going to use a car? Are we going to hitchhike to Cape Town, for instance? We also need to go and decide what do we want to pack? How fast do we want to get there? What is our budget in order to actually get to Cape Town? So strategic direction is the highest level of strategy and it provides the overall guide for the human behavior and where the organization is headed. So remember, when we are all going to Cape Town, we now already just said we are going to Cape Town. We can't now decide one person wants to go to Bloemfontein, one person wants to go to Durban, one person wants to go, like to Botswana, for instance. We as a group decided we are going to go to Cape Town. And the worst thing that you can have in an organization is a group or a person, if it's a small organization, that are going against the flow, that is constantly going against what we have decided. Okay. So strategic direction says, what are we going to do to get where we want to go? It is a framework. It is made up of four key components, and the purpose is to ensure that you actually have a united organization around a united theme. So strategic direction is not just a random idea that we thought of. It's an actual purpose of where we want to go. And remember also, strategic direction costs money. It costs money to do research, to actually to employ the right people, to get the right infrastructure. So you can't just have a random idea and then decide tomorrow, no, let's rather go somewhere else. Okay, so strategic direction, remember the 4 pillars. So it consists out of your mission, your values, your strategic intent, and then also your vision. Okay. So guys, what I want you to do in your textbook, quickly read through the King Price case study. So it's at the beginning of your textbook. It talks about King Price. Remember, I spoke about King Price, I think last week or the week before. I said I think it's a quite cool company to work for. I've seen pictures of when you start there, for instance, like little Lego blocks that you can build. It looks like a really fun company. Quickly read through the case study of King Price, and then let's discuss anything that maybe stood out for you from this King Price case study. So just quickly take 5 minutes or so, read through the King Price case study, and then let's quickly discuss the King Price case study.